Hey, what's going on everyone? Today we've got a pretty fun video. We're going to be taking a look at the Chill team, and we're going to talk about why I think this team has huge potential to be viable in Arena after the space reworks. Maybe not necessarily meta, but definitely viable. And I say that for quite a few reasons, one of which being that I've already been beating maxed pirate teams with this Chill lineup with the unreworked Commander Cold and Kelvin. In fact, I'm so excited for this team that the Chill characters will be the first team that I will take to level 60 Gear 7 once the update drops. Now that might seem like a bit of a weird decision, but I'm pretty confident that they will be viable in Arena, and even if they're not, it still will be a pretty fun team. So as some of you know, I've been looking forward to a Chill team for quite some time now. That's why I spent a little bit to make sure that I got Yeti to 7 stars the last time his event came around, and I've been testing them quite a bit in Bricks over the last couple months, and I've shared some footage of that in some random videos. But I did not think that an unreworked Chill team could beat Arena teams, but I was talking with someone who goes by EMZ on Discord, and he gave me the encouragement to just go for it, and it turns out it is definitely possible. So let's actually go into a Brickspedition battle right here, and I'll talk about how it exactly works, how the team functions. This one right here is a pirate team, so we'll go for this one. So the opening move with this Chill team is insanely powerful. If you can play it correctly and if it goes well, you can take out a character in just 4 moves. You're going to want to almost always go after Redbeard, but if the team has Master Wu, that will be a lot more difficult because typically they'll put Redbeard in the first slot, meaning that he will get stealth right out of the gate from Master Wu, so you can't actually target him, which makes beating pirate teams with Wu very, very difficult, but it is still possible, and I think it will be a lot easier after the space reworks. But in this specific case, there is no Master Wu, so we can't just go directly after Redbeard. Also, Redbeard here is a 5-star character, not 7 stars, which is fine because you'll basically do the exact same thing up against a 7-star Redbeard. So the goal here is to kill him without triggering Scarlet's taunt, so we're going to actually start with Zane's AoE ability, since he's going to go first, and we'll use this to make sure that we don't deal too much damage to Redbeard. Perfect. Now we have Kelvin's pep reduction ability. It doesn't really matter who we use this one on, but let's just go for Valiant here. And now we have Commander Cold's ability. This is where it gets really interesting. This ability right here, which has a 100% chance to inflict Dizzy to the target. That is good for 2 reasons. One being that it will prevent Redbeard from counterattacking, but also Dizzy works really well with Yeti, as we'll see here in just a second. So we'll go ahead and use this ability on Redbeard. And now he's pretty low in health, but not quite under 50% yet, so Scarlet has not taunted. This is ideal right here, and up against a 7-star Redbeard, you may want to sometimes use Zane's second special ability, or his second ability, first special, to do a little bit more damage to Redbeard, but generally, you'll want to play this the same. And now we can use this ability right here with Yeti, which will deal 150% damage to the target foe, plus 50% bonus damage if the foe had 1 or more debuffs. And Dizzy, of course, is a debuff, but also, with Yeti's passive ability, he will deal 100% bonus damage to foes inflicted with Dizzy. That means that this attack will do 300% damage to Redbeard. So let's go ahead and use this right here, and you'll see just how powerful this is. Look at that, 7,100 damage on a non-critical hit. Typically, this ability will do around 7,100 to 7,800 on a non-crit, and anywhere from 10 to 11,000 when this ability critically hits. And now Redbeard is completely out of here, and now the battle becomes a lot easier. So now we can heal up Yeti here, and then just play through the rest of the battle without too much trouble. So yeah, this team does work pretty well. One thing you will notice is that they lose their health pretty quickly, and before too long, everyone on your team is low on health, and Aurora is frantically reviving everyone left and right. And if 2 or more units die at once, she can only revive 1, and she won't gain, her cooldown on that revivability won't be reset for both units, meaning that 1 will be out of the battle until she gets to use that again, and it just becomes a bit of a mess. Now, that healing problem is largely solved with Kelvin's rework because, well, first of all, she'll give 10% max health to the entire team, but also there will be a 5% heal, or a 65% chance for there to be a 5% heal whenever a unit counterattacks, assists, or does a bonus attack, which happens very often with Redbeard and also Jay when going up against Ninjago teams. So that is a very powerful mechanic right there, and it will help keep your chill team alive and just give them more health in general. Also, I think the reworks with Commander Cold will make the team a lot better as well. There just are more general synergies with chill, and it will be pretty powerful. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the reworks. It will make the team a lot better, and also Kelvin's pet production ability will actually deal damage. So you can actually use that ability to already start doing damage to whoever you want to attack next, since you really only need Zane, Cold, and Yeti to take out Redbeard. And then perhaps on Kelvin's second turn, you can give the damage block to Yeti, and then since she goes before Yeti, he will then follow up and use his taunt ability, meaning that units have to go after him while he has that damage block, which will reduce incoming damage by 50%, which will give Kelvin time to heal up the team with her passive ability, as well as Aurora. You'll basically have time to heal up your team while Yeti is taunting with that damage block, and then when he eventually dies, Aurora can just bring him right back, and the cycle will continue. So it will be very, very powerful with Kelvin in that team. So this team is only going to become more powerful after the space reworks. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at a couple clips from Arena. First, I went up against this team at 20th right here. This Max Pirate team with Scarlet, Bart, Redbeard, Hank, and Argenta. And one thing you'll notice with each of these clips is that the opening move does not go perfectly. I'm not able to kill Redbeard, yet I'm still able to recover and win. So even if that doesn't go perfectly, you can still win, and if it does go correctly, you are almost guaranteed to win, especially if the unit you take out is Redbeard. So right here, it's a 7,000 hit, not a critical. If it was a critical hit, Redbeard would be dead right now, but instead, he is still alive. But I am still able to recover here, just a little bit slower, but all the bonuses with all the chill units and the dizzy really helps here because Redbeard is not counterattacking. That dizzy from Commander Cold is very, very useful, also of course from Zane's basic, to just help control Redbeard and prevent him from doing all of his counterattacks while he still happens to be alive. And right here, I'm able to take him out without him really doing too much damage to my team. Then I can just kind of go after whoever. It's a little bit slower here because Scarlet just slows things down, but at this point it's pretty much a guaranteed win, at least for this specific scenario. Once Redbeard's out of there, pirate teams are very easy to beat, especially if Master Wu is not in the team. If Master Wu is there, the healing can sometimes be too much. Actually, it's almost always too much to actually beat the team, especially if Redbeard is still alive. But again, we'll go over that in a bit more detail with the next clip here. But yeah, we can just fast forward through the rest of this and take out each of the characters in turn and eventually win the battle here. And as you can see, all 5 units are alive at the end of the battle, albeit they are a bit low on health, but again, Kelvin will help quite a bit with that. And there we go, Bart is dead and the battle is won. Now, for the second battle, I wanted to try to beat a team with Master Wu, and initially I tried quite a few battles against the team at 16 right there, with Redbeard, Bart, Hank, Scarlet, and Master Wu. And that team proved to be pretty much impossible to beat. The trickiest part was that Redbeard is in the first slot here, so that means he gets the stealth from Wu at the start of the battle. Now, Master Wu is faster than any of the chill units, meaning that he will go first, use his basic, and give stealth to what would typically be the weakest ally, but at the beginning of a battle, he instead gives it to the ally in the first slot. In this case, it's Redbeard, so he gets the stealth, and that means you're forced to go after Bart, Hank, or Scarlet. Now, I typically targeted Hank just to try to get him out of here, and as you can see, I landed the Dizzy, and then Yeti's hit right here. Look at that, 11k with that hit on the critical hit, very powerful hit right there. But then you kind of get stuck in this loop right here with these 4 characters that can all heal. Scarlet can heal herself, Redbeard has a heal, Bart has the best single target heal in the game, and of course Wu can heal as well. And there's also a decent amount of damage with this team that's left, because of course Redbeard can do a lot of damage, and Master Wu can also spread that vulnerable with his ultimate, as well as the disarmed, and just completely take out your team. So eventually I just lose one too many units and eventually retreat from the battle because I know I'm not going to win, and this happened many times. I tried beating this team a lot of different ways, going after Bart first, trying to take out Scarlet. Nothing really worked, and I could not get below 4 units, but almost always I was able to take out 1 unit at the beginning with that opening move. As you saw right here, there was a very nice 11k hit. So after that, I decided to just go for this team right here in rank number 15 for a couple reasons. One, Scarlet here is only 6 stars, so it's a little bit more manageable. Also, there's Argenta in there instead of Hank. But the most important thing about this team here is Redbeard is not in the first slot. Instead, there is Scarlet there. So that means she will get the stealth from Master Wu, and that allows us to target Redbeard earlier on, and that means he won't be getting the stealth at the beginning of the battle. Now again, the opening move doesn't go perfectly with this one. I don't believe I actually get the crit, and Redbeard doesn't die, but again, I am able to recover because he wasn't given that stealth from Master Wu. So I start with Zane's AoE attack, and then looks like I reduce Pep on... I went for Bart here. I kind of changed up who I reduced the Pep on. Doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, 7,000 hit right there. Again, not a critical hit, and Redbeard is not defeated. Here I try to do a basic with Aurora, trying to kill him, but he heals up a little bit, and then he heals all the way back up to full health from Bart. But I am able to land a couple more attacks after that. Again, he has that Dizzy, so he is not counterattacking, which is very useful. And look at that. 2 amazing hits right there from Yeti, 4.9 thousand on each hit, totaling about 10,000 total damage just from his basic attack, because the enemy did have Dizzy, meaning that each of those attacks did 100% more damage. Again, Yeti is an absolute beast. His second special ability, as we saw earlier, can do upwards of 11,000 damage, and his basic attack can potentially do a total of 10,000 damage. So he is a very good unit, and honestly, his ultimate isn't too bad as well, although the debilitate can sometimes hurt when going up against Scarlet, because if she has taunt, like right here, I use this ability while Scarlet has taunt, and I believe then I will attack Scarlet, reduce her pep. Yeah, so then, actually look at that. Okay, I don't think she actually got the disarmed in this clip here, but I did a lot of battles, and sometimes I would actually use his ultimate and get the debilitate on Scarlet while she had taunt, and then reduce her pep, meaning that she essentially got to keep that taunt for quite a bit longer, which made it more difficult to beat the team. So in those situations, I would actually recommend saving his ultimate for the next turn when Scarlet does not have her taunt. But either way, these battles still aren't too difficult to win once you actually get Redbeard out of the picture, especially if Master Wu is not there. And again, this team will only become way better after the space reworks, especially the Kelvin rework with the extra max health to the whole team, as well as the extra healing. Also, with Kelvin's reworked passive, she will give a 10% dodge boost to all chill allies as well, and then she can also give dodge up with her basics. So the chill team will get a bit of dodging as well, which should help to survive more attacks and keep their health a little bit higher. And I've also been upgrading my Ice Glider set in preparation to get this team to level 60 Gear 7 as well. I believe right now I have mine at 3423, so I have been spending some Tier 3 set tools on this team. But yeah, that is going to be it for this, and I just kind of wanted to share this really cool footage of just how powerful the Chill team already is, beating these maxed pirate teams. Not super consistently, but they are beating them, and I think it's going to become a lot better with the upcoming space reworks. So you can expect to see some pretty fun videos with the Chill team, even if they're not necessarily arena meta. They're still going to be a lot of fun for things like Bricko and potentially raids down the line. So that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.